In this video, I'm going to introduce to you what is probability distribution. Probability distribution is nothing but a function that relates the probability of occurrence with the outcome of a random experiment. So we are talking about two things here. One is probability of occurrence and the outcome. This is related to a random experiment. So what is the random experiment that we're talking about? So random experiment could be tossing a coin, throwing a dice, or any experiment in which the outcome is random in nature, or we do not know what is going to be the outcome. When we toss a coin, we do not know whether it's going to be a head or a tail. When we throw a dice, we do not know which number will appear on the face of the dice. So that's known as a random experiment. When we associate the outcome of that experiment with certain probability value, we call that distribution probability distribution. A function is specifically used to denote that the relationship we call that function as probability distribution functions. So if we take an example, that will make things more clear. So let us take an example. We have got two coins and then we will toss two coins simultaneously. So what are going to be the outcomes of this experiment? We will get two heads. So that could be the possibility getting of two heads, or we could get one head and one tail. So the first outcome is head, the second one is tail, or it could happen otherwise. First outcome could be tail, the second outcome could be head, and then finally we could also have two tails, no head, right? Now the outcome of this particular experiment are the four. Now we will try to relate the outcome with the probability that the outcome is going to have a head, right? So x is the random variable which captures the outcome, and probability of x taking head, or the number of heads, is the probability associated with that outcome. Okay, so what is the probability that we could potentially get one head? Now you will see in the outcomes there are two cases where we have only one heads, right? So we will start with 0 heads. Okay, so what's the probability that the random variable x takes 0, or we get 0 heads in the experiment? So that's only one case, the last case, right? When we have only two tails, so we do not get any head. So the probability of happening that is 1 by 4. Okay, so why it's 1 by 4? Because the favorable cases is 1. Only one case where we have no head, right? And the total number of cases is 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? Hence, as you know, the probability is nothing but favorable number of cases by total number of cases. So the number of the probability that the outcome is not going to have any head is 1 by 4. What is the probability that the outcome is going to have exactly one head? So that happening is in two cases, right? The second one and the third one. So probability of getting only one head is 2 by 4, right? And what's the probability of getting two heads? Well, that's happening only in one case, right? The first case. So again, that is going to be 1 by 4. So this table is known as the probability distribution table, okay, where we have an association between the outcome of a random experiment and the corresponding probability values. We can also plot it in order to understand it better. Let us take another example where we'll toss three coins simultaneously, and it will be little more complex, but it will be very useful to understand probability distributions. So now we have three coins, right? So what could be the outcomes? We could get head, head, head. We could get head, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, head. Then we could have tail, head, tail, head, tail. Sorry, tail, head, tail. Then we could also have head, tail, tail, and finally we'll have tail, tail, tail. So there should be 8. We should count it: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Now the distribution will be like this in this case. So we have the random variable x, which takes how many times heads appears in the outcome, and the corresponding probability value, the probability of happening that, right? X taking head, right? Now, how many times there are 0 heads in the outcome? Only one case, right? The last case where we have only 0 heads. So the probability that you will get 0 heads is 1 by 8, because there is only one case where you have only tails, no heads. So that's only the one favorable case, and the total number of cases is 8, right? As we counted it initially. So it's 1 by 8. And when are we getting only one head? Well, that's happening only 3 cases, right? It's happening here, it's happening here, and it's happening here, right? 3 cases. So that's happening 3 times. So probability of getting exactly one head is 3 by 8. Probability of getting 2 heads, well, it's happening here and here and here, right? So that's again 3 by 8. Probability of getting 3 heads, only one case, right? The first one. So that becomes 1 by 8, right? So this is the probability distributions when we toss 3 coins simultaneously. Now make sure that the probability or the when we sum it across, it should be 1, right? When you sum it across, you will find it becomes 1, 3 plus 3 plus 3 whole divided by 8. So that becomes 8 by 8 equal to 1. As you know, the total probability is always 1. Hence, the total probability is distributed across different outcomes. Okay, so to do a check, you should also add it up. So it should be 1 when you add it up. Okay, so that's about the probability distribution. Now we can plot this as well, okay, to understand it better. So we'll have in the x-axis, we have the random variable x here, and in the y-axis we have the probability of getting head, right? Head. Now we will start from 0. Probability value would lie somewhere between 0 to 1, and this will be infinity. So the outcome could be infinity, right? In this case, it's always positive infinity in our case. Okay. So if you plot it in the XYZ plan, so 0, the number of getting 0 times our head is 1 by 8. So this could be something like this, and then getting one outcome is 3 by 8. So we'll get something like this, and then getting 2 outcomes. So this will be 0, this will be 1, and again it becomes 3 by 8, and then getting 3 outcomes is again 1 by 8, right? So the one you can see here is the probability distribution in a graphical form, and that's easy to understand. So that's about probability distribution.